Zerba, Zabadi Zoo. What's up, everybody? Just to forewarn everyone, I sneezed, which really sucks. Ugh. When I sneeze, my postnasal drip goes into, like, massive overdrive. It really stinks. I hate it. But that's the problem with having postnasal drip. You just gotta deal with the nasty. So anyway, welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. I do. I hope you're doing well. And I want to say, welcome to my stream. Today is a full day of console gaming fun. Okay. How's everyone doing? This is the start of the weekend for everybody. And it's the big Thanksgiving weekend. You know, in the United States, we already had Thanksgiving, but many people this weekend doing various things. If you don't work retail, this might actually be a really fun weekend for you. Because maybe you're home, you're relaxing. Maybe you're finally sitting down to play some games. Maybe you snagged some stuff during the Black Friday sales. And you're now about to enjoy it, right? Or maybe you're just eagerly awaiting stuff to arrive that's being shipped to your house. Because a lot of people did online Black Friday shopping this year, right? Or maybe not. If you work retail, this is probably your worst weekend ever. Because if you work retail and you're working this weekend, it's probably going to be full of assholes who don't understand that we're in a worldwide pandemic. And they should not be in the store shopping regardless. But now they're packing the stores, to cause problems for people, right? Sucks. Sucks, and sucks some more. So, hopefully that's not your situation. Hopefully you're able to sit home and relax and tune into my streams and have a good time with me. All right? What are we doing? Today's a fun day. Variety of stuff that we're going to be doing on streams today. First of all, the early stream right now is going to be Spider-Man Miles Morales. Okay? Continuation. I've only played this for about, I'd say, 4 to 4.5 hours. When I first played it, I called it a mixed bag. When I played it again last time, I actually thought it was pretty good. It grew on me. Let's put it that way. It grew on me. Once I got more to the meat of the game, I didn't feel the combat was as bad as I thought it was in that first session. Keep in mind, you know, earning different abilities and things as we play along. And Miles actually has way more abilities than original Spider-Man Peter Parker did. So, adds to the variety of the game. The plot is interesting right now. And I'm interested in continuing on and seeing what happens. So, good stuff. More Miles Morales today on the stream. I've heard that the plot is roughly 10 hours long. If you do side content, the game could be upwards of 15 hours long. So I guess it all depends. We'll see what happens. And if I feel the side content is meaningful, for example, if I'm going to point A to point B in the city, and there's a bunch of stuff to do in between, like grab a collectible, do a quick fight, I'll do it. And I've been doing that during the course of the game. But am I going to go outside of my way to do the side content and try to platinum the game? I don't know. I would say doubtful. I did platinum the original Spider-Man 2 years ago, and it was pretty tedious to do so, not to lie. It was fun at first, but as soon as I had to start trying to do random crimes, and in particular, the base takeovers, oh my god, those were the most tedious, boring things ever. Fighting repetitive wave after wave of enemies. So, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes today, okay? Later tonight, the late stream will be the continuation of Yakuza 7. And we're heading into a new chapter now, I believe. I think we just finished a major story chapter. So hopefully, tonight will be interesting, and you guys will enjoy the stream. You'll join me, hopefully, later tonight, around 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. A lot of people have really been enjoying that playthrough and want more. So you'll get more tonight, okay? Tomorrow, Sunday, we're going to continue with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which last time around, I made some major progress with the quest lines to basically recruit people to be allies in England. We finished up the first major quest line of that and started a second one. So I'll be continuing on with that, see how that goes. And so far, so good with that playthrough. I would say the game also, just like Miles Morales, has grown on me the more that I've played it. Some people are arguing it's boring. Like, well, it follows the exact same formula as the last 2 Assassin's Creed games. Open world, tons of content, great visuals at the same time. Some people have issue that they think it's too repetitive or boring. Fair enough. Not much you can do about that. It's the same kind of deal, right? So, if it's your cup of tea, if it floats your boat, if that's what you're looking for, come on back tomorrow, all right? Tomorrow night, the late stream on Sunday is looking to be the continuation of Bug Snacks. Now, it's not a guarantee, but I played Bug Snacks for 3 hours last night. We got pretty damned far. At this point, there's one area of the game left I've not gone to. There's one villager left to recruit, and then there's side content for that said villager. And then outside of that, we're pretty much done with the game. So depending on how long it takes to do this final area, recruit this villager, do the missions for the villager, that'll determine whether or not I'm going to beat Bug Snacks tomorrow night or not. Okay? I guess we'll see. All right. And then on Monday, it's a continuation of Demon Souls, and the truth of the matter is, I'm getting very close to the end of the game if I'm remembering the end of the game. Because we're in World 3-2, and we're more than halfway through it. So I might be able to beat it. If I beat it, then all you have left is World 5-2, which is an annoying world because you're in this bog full of like fog and poison and shit. So it's very hard to get through because you can't really see. But at the same time, it's actually quite fun, I remember, because there's a lot of hidden content, hidden side stuff in the area. So that should be interesting to see. Can I get through that? Because if I get through that, then there's this World 1-3, which I believe is a tough world leading up to a boss. And then there's 2 more big bosses, and then it's the finale. So it's likely I'll beat it on Monday if I don't have a lot of issues. I might have a lot of issues because I am in some of the hardest parts of the game right now. So we'll see, but we're nearing the end of that game. And then if we actually do beat Bug Snacks on Sunday night, then Monday night's going to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Multiplayer. Okay? So, good stuff coming up. And the good news is here, it looks like we're going to actually begin to complete some of these PlayStation 5 playthroughs, right? And that's a good thing because people are, number one, saying, okay, it's been 2 weeks, but you're playing the same games. Understandable. Number two, there's some new stuff coming up. In a little over a week, we've got Cyberpunk coming out. And so, obviously, if I can finish up some of these ongoing PlayStation 5 playthroughs before Cyberpunk comes out, that's good, because that means there's be more time to focus on Cyberpunk and less worrying about, oh my god, there's all these unfinished playthroughs, all right? Now, to be realistic here, do I think I'm going to be beating Assassin's Creed and Yakuza 7 anytime soon? Hell no. I think we all realize those games are going to be incredibly long, just like they always are. Those are going to be super duper long playthroughs, and they're probably going to be going no lie for months. There's nothing you do about it. The games have so much content in them that, they're probably going to be just ongoing. And I'm okay with that. I just hope you guys are. Understand, I'm trying to cover everything as much as I possibly can. I can't play absolutely everything at once. There's nothing I can do about that, I'm only one man. And there's so many games out right now that it's a daunting task to attempt to actually play them all at once, okay? So, we shall see what happens. But I'm going to do my best in the next week to week and a half to get as far as I possibly can in the games that I'm playing. So that way, you guys don't feel like there's lingering stuff that is unfinished, okay? If anything, if you actually look at the games I'm playing, I would say likely I'm going to beat SpiderMan within the next week. If I play 1 or 2 more major streams after today, I'll probably finish it, which is good. Bug Snacks is going to complete. Demon Souls is going to complete. So if anything, if we simply end up with, Assassin's Creed and Yakuza balanced with Cyberpunk, I think that'll work out well. Keep in mind, there's a few other things that I've got that I did not play that I want to play. Sackboy. The Sackboy platformer, which I don't even know what it's called. Is it called Sackboy's Adventure or something like that? Everyone's saying it's great. Everyone's saying that it's actually ridiculously good, especially if you like platformers. And it's a shame because a lot of people slept on it. Notably, I did. I didn't get it as a launch title for PS5 because the PS5 came packaged with Astro's Playroom. So if you already have a kind of a cutesy platformer game packaged in with PS5, right? why would you then go buy a QT platformer game for PS5? Right? That's kind of the thing. I almost feel like Sony maybe almost stabbed themselves in the foot with this. Not to say that no one's going to buy the Sackboy game, but the way I see it is this was an opportunity to really showcase what the PS5 could do, which they did with Astro's Playroom. But then when you release a game that's very similar, you know, it's kind of like, well, you see what's going to happen here. It's gonna kill its own, what's it called? Kill its own market share or whatever. They actually created direct competition for a genre of game during the launch of their major console. It's kind of weird, admittedly, that happened, but it happened. So, that being said, I definitely want to play it. People are saying that it's actually insanely good, so that's probably the next, out of all the games I'm playing right now. Obviously, Cyberpunk is on the agenda in a week and a half, but Sackboy is definitely on the radar. And once I beat some of these games, like I said, Demon Souls, Bugsnax, Miles Morales, then I'll probably play Sackboy, and then there's going to be Cyberpunk. So there's going to be a good balance of stuff coming up in December, for sure. And I hope that you guys will join me for all of this fun stuff in December. I'm very excited because unlike many years, a lot of years, what happens is all these games come out in October, November, and then by December, it's boring. By December, we've beaten them all, and it's very dead. This is the complete and polar opposite this year, where there's so many games coming out in a short period of time, there was no way to beat them quickly. And there's even more games I haven't played yet that are coming out, or I haven't gotten to play and I'm going to play. In addition, I am looking to play, at some point, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I played the beta for it, and I loved it. Like, I really thought it was great. The only problem was the frame rate sucks in certain parts on the Switch. It almost seems like the Switch can't really handle the gameplay, which sucks, because the whole point is if it's a console exclusive, it should run well, and apparently it doesn't. But I actually liked the beta, and I think that would be something for chill streams, like late night streams. Age of Calamity would probably do pretty well. We'll see. In addition, Beautiful Butterfly just brought something up. They said, what about Immortals Phoenix Rising? So, yeah, that's another game. I believe, is that an Ubisoft game? That's a game coming out, I believe, in the second half of December. I could be wrong, but I think it's the second half of December. I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. It looks all right, but it doesn't look unique. You know what I mean? Like, it looks okay, but I don't know if that's something that's going to be a good playthrough game or not. I guess what I'll do is I'll play all the games I'm playing now, and when the game comes out, we'll weigh and balance, is this something I want to play or not? But the thing is, this is a good year because there's options. It's not a dead end of the year where I'm trying to cram in year-end stuff and there's nothing to do. There's so many games going on right now. It gives me options for the streams, and I really like that. I really enjoy that. Okay? So, definitely excited for the next month. I hope you guys are too. Now, also keep in mind, there will be a Christmas marathon right before Christmas, where you guys are going to be nominating games for me to play. There's going to be multiplayer fun. I'll be dressed up. I'll be drinking. It's going to be a great event. I'm excited for that as well. More details on that coming over the course of this weekend. Today's what, Saturday? So probably either tonight or tomorrow night. Likely tomorrow night. I'm going to set up your ability, okay, to start nominating games for the Christmas event. So I hope you guys will nominate games, and we'll see what you guys nominate. Please don't nominate stupid shit. Please don't nominate long, drawn-out RPGs that I'm only going to play for an hour during the marathon. Please don't nominate narrative-based games, visual novels. Let's be serious here. Let's think of a game that I could jump in and play for an hour, hour and a half during a marathon. It would be fun to watch, not a game that's going to be stupid or tedious and people aren't going to enjoy, okay? Okay? Fair enough? I say that, and of course, now people are purposely going to fucking nominate Code Vein and shit. Oh my god. Anyway, yes, this should be a good time. This next month should be incredibly fun, I feel. And I hope that you guys are excited for all the content that I'll be putting out in the next month as well. Should be a good time. All right, so great stuff, everybody. Outside of that, there will be a new monthly subs goal in the month of December, which is in just a couple of days. If you guys don't realize, it's the 28th of November today. Jeez. I don't know where the time goes. I swear to God, it feels like it was just Halloween. And we're about to hit December already. I knew this was going to happen this month once the new releases hit. So crazy. But anyway, yeah. New monthly subs goal, all right, coming out in December. This will be for a retrospective special event. I have not done one since February of 2020. So it's been a long time since we've done one. All right. I think we've given it enough time that it makes sense to do another one. During these retrospective events, you guys get to nominate your favorite moments in my 12 years as a content creator on the internet. Okay, pretty sweet. And we watched them back for the very first time. In a lot of cases, these moments are things I've never seen before since I created that video how many years ago. And it's fun to watch these back and react to them. In a lot of cases, I have a lot of fun with it. So, I hope that you guys will join me for a fun retrospective event if we hit the subs goal in December. What will the subs goal be? Oh my god, how many subs? I have no idea. We got to see what happens in the next few days, because typically what happens is, near the beginning of every month, we have a lot of gifted subs. People gifted subs to people, and they tend to expire. So rather than set up a subs goal ahead of time, I'm just going to wait, and we're going to see what happens in early December, and then set up the subs goal based on where we are, okay? So, it's coming. Hope you guys are excited. Thank you very much, guys, in advance for a great stream and your support. What does that mean? It means I'm thankful for those of you who contribute during my live streams. I really am. I appreciate any contributions that you guys give during a stream, okay? I am a full-time streamer, and I rely on your crowdfunding support to keep things afloat. It is your crowdfunding during the streams that allows me to continue to do what I love. You're the reason I'm here, and I very much appreciate that. So, if you cheer with bits, if you subscribe to the channel, if you tip me during today's stream, all of those things help, and they're greatly appreciated, okay? It is not mandatory for you to contribute. It is not expected for you to contribute. If you do, I consider that kind of going above and beyond just being a standard stream viewer, because you like the content so much and you want to see it continue. And I appreciate those who do step up to contribute and help me out a lot, okay? Thank you in advance to anyone who's thinking about doing so, okay? Now, all that being said, if you do tip me today, it would help me a little bit more than anything else, because I get tip funds immediately and I can use them for stuff. At the very same time, please understand that everything helps. Cheering, subbing, tipping. It's not only about the tips. It's just that the tips do help in the short term a little bit more, okay? That's why I kind of prefer those. So, thank you, and thank you some more for all of your support recently. I appreciate that, guys. And let's have a great stream. Fair enough? Now, before we get to shoutouts, there is one thing that I would like to talk about this morning, which I guess some people were not aware of. I was aware of it, but for me, it's not really that big of a deal. But I guess for other people, it could be a big deal, okay? So for those of you who are able to get a PlayStation 5, which probably isn't that many, let's be honest here. PlayStation 5s are in crazy high demand right now, and it's pretty damn hard to get one, all right? Just being realistic here. I realize it's incredibly, scarce that anyone would get a PS5. You got people lining up outside of GameStops overnight to try to get them and everything. But if you got a PS5, there is a feature of the PS5 that I guess a lot of people were not aware of, and they're kind of like now realizing it, and it's kind of like shocking some people. Okay. Yeah. So what it is on PlayStation 5, okay, when you earn a trophy in a game, it doesn't matter what game, all right, but when you earn a trophy in a game, that game takes a video with your microphone input, which is a new feature people didn't realize, and archives it on your profile, I guess. And I guess if people actually have access to your profile, or if you have what's considered a public profile on PlayStation Network or whatever, I guess people can actually see those trophy videos. Now, I'm not 100% on exactly how it works. All right. So I can't really attest to it 100%. But from what I'm to understand, people are freaking out because they didn't know this. Okay? And because they didn't know this, they weren't aware their voices were being captured and the like. And I guess some people are earning trophies in games, and then said games are playing back their voices or whatever that they're saying when they're getting the trophies, and it's freaking them out. And some people are like, "Oh my God, what if I said something bad or whatever?" So, for example, let's say you're playing Demon Souls. And you're fighting a really tough boss, right? And it takes a while to beat that boss, and you feel that that boss is unfair and cheap, which I'm sure a lot of people will say they were. And you beat the boss, and all of a sudden you scream out an expletive. Son of a fucking bitch, I beat that piece of shit. You know? That dick sucker motherfucker, oh, I got him. Now, it's going to capture your voice, and there may be people who can actually see that clip on the internet, and you didn't know it. Okay? Now, here's the thing. I would hope that most people don't say nasty stuff when they're playing games. All right? For me, I obviously don't. You know me. I'm a live streamer. I got to already watch what I say and do. And luckily for me, I don't have a vocabulary that's a nasty vocabulary where I would say racist stuff, homophobic stuff. You know me, I don't talk about those topics. I'm definitely not racist or homophobic in any way, shape, or form. But I hate to say it, in my years as a content creator, especially back in the day when I used to play games online like Call of Duty, I found that many people were. And it was shocking to me at the time to hear the amount of people who would say ridiculous things for, like, I don't know if it was shock value or if they actually meant these things. You know, how do you know the intention behind something like that? You really don't, right? It could be that they feel like they can just say whatever they want and get away with it, and because they do, then they do. But oh my god, back in the day when I was playing Call of Duty online, some of the things I heard were fucking disgusting, right? Insane racist stuff, insane homophobic stuff, sexist stuff. Like, really, just what the fuck is going through these people's heads when they're playing a fucking video game? It's just baffling and also shocking, honestly, some of the shit that came out of people's mouths. So if they're doing it online, playing Call of Duty, right, you could just imagine what actually comes out of people's mouths in a closed-door setting where they feel, oh, this is my private game room, or this is my house. You know what I mean? They feel that it's a safe space. Next thing you know, your PlayStation is recording you when you're getting a trophy. The other thing is, at least, you know, with me playing these PlayStation 5 launch titles, a lot of these trophies are like, surprising. I'll get a trophy out of nowhere, and I'll be like, what the hell did I get that for? What, you know? I don't even know what that trophy's supposed to be. So it wasn't like I was expecting to get a trophy. It was just like a shocking, out of nowhere, I earned a trophy. Okay, so you might not even be prepared to earn a trophy, then you get it, and now it's recorded your voice, right? Who knows? Now, here's the funny part about all this. Whenever you're playing a game, just, you gotta be careful what you're saying. Can you imagine if someone, like, is ordering a pizza and they're reading their credit card number out over the internet, right? And yeah, extra large with pepperoni. Okay, my card number is 4275. It's a Visa card, by the way. Security code is 892. And it records this during a trophy, right? And then posts to the internet. Oops. Right? So, you gotta be careful. Now, the good news is, this feature can be completely turned off. I think the reason that it's shocking people is because it uses the PlayStation DualSense controller microphone to record your voice. And previously on PlayStation 4, it wouldn't do that. I mean, yes, it recorded your info, but it didn't use the microphone. Now it does. Okay, so some people rightfully shocked or surprised that this is happening. And you gotta be careful. All right, you got to be careful about what you say and do. You can turn it off, though. In the settings of your PlayStation 5, there's two things you can do, I believe. I think there is a way to just mute the mic completely, so that way the mic doesn't turn on and record your voice. But in addition, I think there's a way you could just turn off video archival completely, so when you earn a trophy, it actually won't record your voice at all either. I think. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm almost positive that they give you the option, so that way it's not like it records you no matter what. Okay? So, if you have a PlayStation 5, you weren't aware of this, I think it's a good time to be made aware before the worst happens, right? Especially if you have a public profile and now you start saying shit and you get in trouble or your information leaks. Like, oh, fuck. I never would have imagined that would have happened on my PlayStation 5, right? Just to be careful, guys, okay? Due diligence, right? You gotta be careful. Even if you're not someone who has an internet following, even if you're not someone who you think anyone would care about that shit, you gotta be careful. In the modern era, there are people out there, if just because they can get away with hurting you, they will. Trust me on this one. You don't want to be the victim of some kind of an identity theft attack or malicious trolling just because you didn't know your microphone was on and somehow people got personal information of yours during a freaking session of PS5 gaming. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out, all right? I just think it's pretty funny. Can you imagine what some people probably say when they earn a tough trophy? You're playing Demon Souls, right? I finally beat that piece of shit, motherfucker, yeah! Oh, captured my voice. Anyway. Or, yeah, how hilarious would that be? Yeah, here you go. Kaskari says, imagine stupidly reading out your address when the trophy pops. Now imagine you're on the phone with your tax attorney and you're reading out your social security number as you get a trophy. Oops. You just got to be careful, guys. All right, anyway, that's really the only news I have to talk about. There's really nothing else going on in gaming right now. And, you know, right now everyone's just enjoying games, having a good time. Of course, the raging battle between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X continues. The war of tribalism continues, okay? For me, I'm having a ton of fun with my PS5, but people are still arguing that one console's better than the other. Excuse me. Oh, my God. That was absolutely 100% disgusting. I'm very sorry. I did not mean to do that. It came out of nowhere. I swear to God, I had no idea that burp was coming. That was ridiculously bad. One of the worst burps ever. One of the worst ever on stream. Holy shit. That was real bad. I'm sorry. I really mean it. I'm sorry. Imagine if you're popping a trophy on PlayStation 5 and that comes out. Okay, then. Oh, my God. Okay, anyway, guys. That being said, let's continue. So, yes, the battle between PS5 and Xbox Series X rages on. And now, the big narrative, because as you know, I've been talking about this recently. Places like Digital Foundry have been testing the graphical performance of the PlayStation 5 versus the Xbox Series X. And in most cases, I don't know if it's absolutely in every case, but in most cases, the games currently that are cross-gen are running much better on PlayStation 5 than on Xbox Series X. One test showed up to 20% better performance, which makes no sense because the Xbox Series X supposedly has better hardware in it. So everyone's like, what's going on? Why the hell did this happen? And a story came out today saying that the reason it happened is because game devs had dev kits for the PlayStation 5 way longer than they had it for the Xbox Series X. I don't know how that works. Like, obviously, I don't know what the decision-making process is for a console developer or whatever to determine when do you send out a dev kit for your console, right? Like, I don't know. Obviously, you probably want to get out as soon as possible so that game developers can start designing specifically for the console. At the same time, I guess you don't want to get it out, you don't want to have it out too early. Because what if you're designing your console, you send out a dev kit, and then you decide to change something critical to your console? Maybe it's a cost-saving measure. Maybe you realize the console doesn't operate as well as you had hoped because of something in it. And so then you end up changing it up. And now next thing you know, game devs already started work. And you're basically screwing them over, right? So I don't know what the process is. But it seems to me like, yeah, if PlayStation 5, they sent out their dev kit way earlier and the devs worked on it for, say, a year versus only 6 months, I can certainly understand why games have used it optimally, all right? Now, for me, this always confuses me because isn't this like the second or third time this has happened? Seriously, where some piece of hardware comes out, claims to be the most powerful, yet it underperforms. And I'm shocked this is still happening. I really am. It's still happening. Like, how many people, I'm curious, how many people jumped on a bandwagon here? All right. And then basically ate their words. Why do you do that? Why? For me, here's my take on it. All right. My honest take. We are 2 weeks into the launch of these consoles. 2 weeks. All right. Right now, what we are seeing is not performance that will be representative of what we're going to see this entire console generation. It's just not. If anything, what I can tell you is this. Owning a PlayStation 5, I am impressed with how of these games, how are these games? I'm impressed with how these games are performing. I am. All the games that I'm playing currently on PlayStation 5, for the most part, run really well. There's a few games that have some screen-tearing issues, I would say. And in particular, Black Ops Cold War, when you get into really heated action in a multiplayer match, the game frame rate dips dramatically and ends up being incredibly choppy and is frustrating. Okay, and I think that's something that they should improve over time. But outside of that, most of these games are running pretty impressively. For launch titles, this is shocking because usually when a console launches, the launch titles ain't so great. I remember the launch of both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, where people were like, wow, all the sports games that were cross-gen, cross-platform, cross-gen, ran terribly on the new consoles. You were paying big money to play the current edition of a sports game that you already enjoyed on the last-gen console, and it ran like fucking donkey shit on the new console. So you were dropping big money for nothing. It was no improvement. In fact, in some cases, it was a scale back. You had more detail in the graphics, but the game would be choppy as fuck. So imagine that, spending all that money and not getting anything out of it, right? So for me, I'm pleased that the PlayStation 5 at least is running as well as it is. I suspected that some of the launch games would not be so good. Now, admittedly, I haven't played them all. I did not play Godfall, and people are actually criticizing Godfall, saying that's the Rise Son of Rome of this console gen. It really is a terrible game. The combat's boring. The graphics aren't as good as other PlayStation 5 games. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I didn't play it, okay? I can't attest to that because I haven't touched the game. But outside of that, the games I'm playing, I'm liking. Even if you compare directly the performance of the Xbox Series X to the PlayStation 5 right now, that is exactly what it is. It's the performance right now. Again, we're 2 weeks into this. You know what I mean? I don't know why people are acting like what we have right now will be the end-all be-all of this console generation. It will not be. If you take a look historically at consoles, usually the first 1 to 2 years of a console existing is not representative of what that console is capable of, okay? Usually it actually takes game developers at least 1 to 2 years to actually figure out and utilize all the capabilities of said console. This is usually the case. This is not something new. I don't know why people tend to forget this, or it's like selective memory. You know what I mean? It is. It's like selective memory. People only want to remember what they want to remember to prove their own narrative. But for me, I don't want to, people are going to say, oh, Phil's defending Microsoft. Yeah, because I don't see why people are freaking out. I mean, yes, is it unfortunate that if you only got an Xbox Series X right now, and you did not get a PlayStation 5, and you're playing these games that are cross-platform, and you're getting an inferior gaming experience now than people who have it on PS5. Is that unfortunate? Yes, it is. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I've said it many times. When you buy a game, if you're spending the same amount of money, and what people are saying, I heard a kid. Yes, my neighbors are outside, and they're playing with their child in the street, so you can hear the child screaming. Anyway, if you pay the same amount of money for the same exact game, all right, you should get a equal experience as the person who paid that same amount of money and is playing it on a different platform. Whether that's PC or console, you should get the same experience. I've always been of that opinion. For example, if I don't know, let's say, I'm trying to think of a game, Call of Duty, all right? Let's say that Call of Duty on the PlayStation 5 runs at a silky smooth 60 frames per second. On the Xbox Series X, runs at a variable 40 to 60 frames per second. And on PC, runs at 120 frames per second. All right? But it's the same exact game outside of that. I'm of the opinion, you could completely disagree with me, you should pay for what you get. So if it runs better on PC, the PC game should be $70 or $60, whatever you want to say full price is today, I have no idea. If it runs slightly worse on PlayStation 5, that should be discounted. That should be like $50. And then if the Xbox Series X version actually runs terribly, then it should be even cheaper. It should be like $40. That's always, I've talked about this before. I don't feel you should be paying extra money for something that's not an equivalent experience. Why are people paying so much more money if you're getting a dud or a lemon, right? I don't think that's fair. It shocked me that no one ever brings this up, too. You're paying the same exact amount of money for the same game, but you get a different experience. Why are you paying the same amount of money as someone else who's getting a much better experience than you just because they're using a different platform? That's shocked me that this has never become an issue among gamers. Okay? So, when it comes to Xbox Series X and PS5, number one, I think people are over-exaggerating. I don't think it's that big of a deal. When you're looking at the graphical differences, it's in a lot of cases, it's nuanced. Sometimes it's not. For example, this game Dirt 5... It's his racing game or whatever. It actually looks terrible on Xbox Series X. It looks like a last-gen game for sure. On PlayStation 5, they added all this extra detail to the world, extra frame rate, extra everything. On Xbox Series X, it looks like an Xbox One game, okay? That's a problem. That's definitely a problem. But in most cases, it's like negligible, okay? So why are we freaking out? You know, give it a year. Pretty much everything's going to look the same. If not, it might look better. Xbox Series X may actually have a one-up on the PlayStation 5 and may actually have much better performance in the long term. But we're not even close to being there yet, right? So why are we freaking out 2 weeks in? People get way too worked up over this stuff. They seriously do. They get way too worked up over performance and everything this early. There's just no reason to be getting worked up like this early. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I see all these people freaking out on social media, arguing, going back and forth about PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X, and I'm like, it doesn't even matter right now. It really doesn't. Give it 6 months. Give it a year. Have more cross-platform games come out for this thing. Then come back to me and tell me about performance. All right? But now, I just think this is kind of silly. Okay? All right. Let us now get to shoutouts. Let's jump to the shoutout segment of the stream, shall we, my friends? Okay. So overnight, I received a $2 tip from Arquitecto Del Mondo. I probably completely butchered that name, and I apologize. I really do. They tipped me $2. They said, greetings from Italy. I love your Yakuza 7 playthrough. Keep it up. Thank you. I'll be playing more Yakuza 7 later tonight. And I'm excited for that, obviously, because I like the game. And it looks like we're going to be heading into a new segment of the game later tonight, which is great. So I hope you'll join me later tonight, everyone. 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for the continuation of Yakuza 7. All right. All right, so now we get to people who contributed during today's stream. The first person who contributed was Elon Jusk. Did a 50-bit share. Let's get Elon on the leaderboard here. Oops, I misclicked. There we go. $50 bits. Okay, so hold on a second. Trying to get everything working here. So Elon Jusk says, have you thought about maybe doing a smaller tips goal on some days, or maybe even a cumulative weekly goal, maybe $500 so we can have the Sonic hat? No! Okay. Absolutely not. Elon Musk also cheered again and says, if we in the DSP army were to do a fan meetup in the future, would you endorse it? Maybe send some prizes to give away to us. So hold on. So you're saying I'm not even involved? So you're saying people would actually do their own fan meetup outside? First of all, DSP Army sounds so stupid. But anyway, you would do your own fan meetup outside of my streams. Would I help participate in any way, shape, or form? Well, let me think about that for a second. No! Okay, maybe. Anyway, no. The truth of the matter is, I don't know. We'd have to see. I doubt there would ever be a DSP fan meetup. You guys probably, number one, with this COVID thing going on, are not even planning about doing it ever. Who knows how long this is going to last? From what I'm hearing, I'm actually hearing some positive things. I actually heard in Washington State, where I live, that the vaccine is actually going to become available within the next 2 weeks to those who most need it, which is crazy. I didn't think it would be out that quickly, but yeah, they're actually reporting that the COVID vaccine is actually going to be going out soon. And then what they're saying is by the end of the year, there'll be like way more. And then by next year, maybe the first quarter of next year, they may actually be able to get this vaccine out to tons of people. All right. So this is actually good news. And I hope it's true. I hope it's not just horse shit. I hope this is true. There's people that really need it. For example, my parents really need it because my dad still has to go to work from time to time. And both my parents have pre-existing conditions. They're older. They are the insanely high risk group. Healthcare workers. Are you kidding me? People who are exposed to this thing every day need to have this vaccine as soon as humanly possible. All right? There's a lot of people out there risking their lives on a daily basis, and they need this thing now. So I hope this is true, and I hope the vaccine goes out as soon as possible, okay? I was actually talking to my wife about this the other day. I said, you know, she'll probably get it way before me. If anything, her job might mandate that she gets it because she's a frontline retail worker. And so because she's, you know, considered a essential worker, they may actually have her get it through her doctor like way early. And then I might have to get it much later because I just sit at home all day streaming, right? So for me, they might be like, oh, you can wait, right? You can wait. You don't need it for a long time. Maybe I'll be like one of the last people to get it, which kind of sucks. But at the same time, I mean, it's true. I'm not really at risk like anyone else. And if anything, I mean, I am nervous that, you know, my wife might get it and bring it home because of the really stupid people who don't abide by the safety guidelines at her job every single day, all the customers. But she's done an incredibly good job this year of staying healthy, and I'm really appreciative of that. So I guess we'll see what happens. But anyway, the point I'm making is, right now, get-togethers aren't even a consideration. But let's say in a year, this whole thing's finally fucking blown over, and it's treated just like the regular flu and everything else, okay? If that's the case, great. And what I would say is, if fans ever wanted to get together, outside of anything I'm doing, and you know, would there be a way for me to be involved? Maybe. How would it happen? I have no idea, because we don't know what the future holds. Without knowing what's going to happen in the future, it's nearly impossible to make any kind of prediction about this kind of stuff. It just is, okay? So I hope you understand that. You know, I wish I could say, oh yeah, I'd love it. Why not have I'll do a digital, I'll show up, you know, over the internet. I'll do a special stream with that, with just the people who got together or whatever. Oh, maybe I'll sign some autographs of stuff and I'll send it to someone who's going to run the event and then they can like hand it out. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. Right now it's crazy that the future is so uncertain. As crazy as that sounds, because do we ever think we would be in this situation? Obviously not. But here we are, right? So I guess we'll see what happens, all right? Golden Colts cheered, and he said, what would your last meal be if you were sentenced to death and they let you pick? First of all, what a grim question. If I was sentenced to death? I mean, I'm not the best guy on earth. I admit that. I have flaws. I can be an asshole sometimes. I can't think of anything I would do that would sentence me to death. What have I done? Man, you were so nasty to Kojima 10 years ago. Electric chair for you, bro. Holy shit, what a grim question. All right. But I guess if we're talking ridiculously ludicrous hypotheticals here, tax evasion. I'm not evading taxes. I'm paying my back taxes, you idiot. Some idiot just said tax evasion in the stream chat. First of all, tax evaders don't get murdered. Even if someone is a heinous tax evader, you don't die for that. You fucking idiot. And on top of that, I'm not evading my taxes. I'm paying them. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god, people are dumb. Anyway, alright. What would my last meal be? That is a very tough question, because here's the thing. There's people who are the kind of people who they could eat the same meal every day, and they like that meal so much, they would eat it every day if they could. And a lot of people would say, I would eat this every day, but I can't. It's unhealthy, right? If I eat this every day, I'll die. I'll get obese and die. I'll have a heart attack. I can't do that, right? For me, like, it's about variety. Like, for me, I actually like eating a variety of foods. And if I don't eat something for a while that I like and then I eat it, I actually enjoy it more than if I eat it every day. That's true. It's just true. You know, there's various things I like. I like pasta and other Italian foods. I like certain kinds of Mexican food. Do I like a good high-grade beef burger? Yes. You know, there's many things. Pizza, of course, I like. There's a lot of things I could say, you know, would be foods that I would enjoy for last meal. But I don't know if it's my absolute last time eating. That's actually a really tough question. I would ask for a plate full of pixie sticks. And I would snort the pixie sticks. And then when they strap me down into the chair for the electrocution or the lethal injection, I'd be so infused with a sugar rush that I would rip the straps off of the chair and lunge out and run through the wall like the Tasmanian devil. Just I would escape. That's what I would do. Since the question was stupid, I gave you a stupid answer. There you go. Ninstar Rune Cheers, how do you stay so fresh? I check your Twitter. You're sometimes tweeting at 2 a.m. when you show up at 10 a.m. without caffeine. I go to bed at 11 p.m. I wake up at 6 a.m. floor. I don't know. It's just a routine that I'm used to. My wife, like, for example, my wife didn't get home till after 11:30 p.m. last night. And when she got home, you know, she wants a snack or something, and then she gets ready, she showers, goes to bed. So we're not going to bed until 2 a.m. Okay? I can't go to bed earlier than that. She's just getting home. Okay? She works late. So that being said, you're right that I have to get up around, every day. I'm trying to think what time I get up. Typically, I get up between 8 and 9 a.m. There's many factors involved. Usually, it's Jasper's the biggest factor. Because whenever Jasper gets up, that's when I'm getting up. All right? Because he ain't going to let me go back to sleep. So, whenever Jasper wakes up, I wake up. But I do usually have some caffeine. Like this morning, I had iced coffee. And actually a cashew granola bar. Granola and cashew nuts. To give me some protein boost. As I started my day today. So yeah, that's what I did this morning. What it is some people still think that, like, I'm staying up late. You guys have to understand something. When I was a full-time YouTuber, I was up till like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was like screwed up. My whole life schedule was completely fucked. Where I was up till super early in the morning. Then I would sleep for maybe like 5-6 hours. I would wake up at like noon, 1 p.m. And then I would record gameplay for like 8-9 hours straight, take a break to eat, and then I would record more gameplay into the wee hours of the night. Like, that was my schedule back then. It was really fucked up. It wasn't until, I'd say probably about 2.5 years ago, I finally got into a way more normal schedule. Notably when Kat moved in with me, we changed up my schedule so that I could get up earlier in the morning and have a normal life. Because this was the thing, okay? I was having this really fucked up schedule of content creation, and then when it was a day off, I wasn't able to wake up in order to have the day. I would be waking up at noon, 1 p.m. Half the day's gone, right? So it was really screwed up. So I had to change my life, okay, in order to have a normal life. So I did. And I'm very happy that now I have a more normal life and work schedule. Admittedly, being up till 2 a.m. every day is late. That's very truthful. At the same time, there's very good reasons for that because of my wife's work schedule. So, excuse me. Oh my God, frog in my throat. So there we go. I don't even know what else to say about that. Stable Genius 123 resub for 18 months. Thank you, Stable Genius, for the resub. Dr. Tony Huge tipped me $1.30. That's the first tip of the day. Let me get him up on the leaderboard here. Okay. Okay, and he says the following. He says, hold on. Oh wait, I didn't update. Oops. I didn't update the tips total. He says the 1st of December is actually going to be on your day off this week. That's correct. The 1st of December is this coming Tuesday. And he says total subs might be more reflective of actual subs that day to get a good idea of what the sub goal should be for the month of December. That is very true. Since Tuesday will be my day off for the week, and that's the 1st, when I come back on December 2nd, if there was a sub bomb, for example, on November 1st this year, which there might have been, because remember, that's when I launched the goal for us to hit the Christmas marathon. Those subs should expire. And then, excuse me. And so then we'll have a better idea of how many subs we actually have. And, I make a goal that's more realistic, We'll see. But that's a good point. Thank you for the first tip of the day, Tony Huge. I appreciate that. Okay. Archtech tipped me $1. I said, Nintendo will never care about you or the fans as they officially cancel a Melee esports tournament for trying to stay safe. I actually heard about this. I can comment on this. Because they used a pirated software to host a multiplayer online. Hashtag free Melee. Throw the Switch to the trash, Phil. Alright. So, Archtech has urged me to throw my Nintendo Switch into the trash can because of Nintendo's absolutely heinous actions. So I'm going to do so right now. Hold on. Here we go. So here we are. Here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Hold on. Here's my Nintendo Switch. All right. I'm going to go put it in the trash right now. Here we go. Okay. Nintendo Switch has been thrown out. Here you go. Sometimes you just got to do it. I mean, I did it with the Wii U. Might as well do it with the Switch too, right? Okay. So, Nintendo Switch has been tossed. Now, if you don't know what he's talking about, Archtech actually is speaking the truth here. So, here's what happened, okay? There was this big tournament, and I forget the name of it. Because I don't know. I'm not in part of the Melee community or whatever. But there's a big tournament that they hold every single year. And it's one of the biggest Smash Brothers tournaments ever. They usually have multiple levels of Smash Brothers event. Like, they'll play the current Smash Brothers. They'll play the classic Smash Brothers. They'll play all of them, right? And it's a ginormous event. It's very popular. All people who are involved with Smash and Smash community usually participate in this event. It's basically kind of like their nationals, okay? So, this year, because of COVID, they couldn't do an in-person tournament, right? So, what did they do? They decided we were going to do an all-online event to keep people safe. I mean, that's pretty respectable, I would think, right? Let's keep people at home so that way they don't get sick. So, they decided to do online. Here's the problem, though. The old versions of Smash don't have online capabilities. There wasn't actually online components to Smash until Wii, I believe it was. So, if you're trying to play classic Smash over the internet, you can't do it, right? So, what do? They instituted an emulator system, all right? There's actually an emulator that allows you to have an integrated online component for these games. It allows you to play old ass Nintendo games over the internet. Now, obviously, it's not legal. It's an emulator. You're playing the game technically for free. Now, of course, the people who run this event justified it by saying, listen, we own a ridiculous amount of copies of these games. This emulation is just our ability to legally back up said games, and therefore this should be considered legal. This is not us illegally stealing the games off the internet, never having bought them. And they really banked on this, and we're hoping that Nintendo were going to be okay with it. Okay? Nintendo was not okay with it. Nintendo served them a cease and desist order, essentially saying, if you have this event, we're going to sue you because you're using our property, our intellectual property, and it's our legal right to say yes or no, and we don't feel that this emulation is a way that we want our property used. Therefore, we want you to cancel your event. They forced them legally to do so, to cancel their event. Obviously, the Smash community is appalled. They're like, you've got to be kidding us. Like, we're trying to support Nintendo. We're trying to have a grassroots effort to keep your competitive community alive in a year when all competitive communities were negatively affected. I mean, there wasn't even EVO this year. The nationals for most fighting games didn't happen this year because of COVID. And we're actually trying to make an effort to support your games, keep the community alive, and have everyone stay home and be safe. And you're giving us a cease and fucking desist order. All right? If you want to talk tone deaf, that's tone deaf. That's literally some dumb fuck Japanese guy, some old ass motherfucking businessman CEO sitting in a boardroom over in Japan, hearing about this event and saying, "Oh no, that's bad." They're like, "What? You dumb fuck. These people are trying to support you." I would see, okay, if Nintendo were about to re-release a giant collection of Smash Bros., the Smash Brothers Anthology, and this Smash Brothers Anthology was going to have an online component to it, all right? And therefore, if they did have this event, you're promoting, basically playing this game for free without buying it, okay? You see what I'm saying? That's a different situation, all right? Absolutely no one is buying Smash Brothers, the original version, on, what was it, the GameCube? No, the N64. Whatever version this is, because I'm getting a brain fart and I can't remember which version this actually is we're talking about. This is not an actively new version of the game. This is not a version of the game that anyone's going to go buy today. Nintendo is not losing on any money. Nintendo is not going... There's not going to be, all of a sudden, overnight, because this event happens, there's not going to be a massive overnight downloads of the game illegally on this emulator. You know what I mean? Like, this is the most stupid, pig-headed, boneheaded, out-of-touch, idiotic thing that Nintendo has done in years. And it's funny, because Nintendo recently, as early as a couple years ago, all right, did some really smart things in regards to the gaming community. They decided to completely change their take on people putting out videos of Nintendo stuff on YouTube. They stopped claiming the videos, stealing people's ad revenue, and instead said, okay, you can do whatever Nintendo content you want. Okay? So that being said, all right, again, there's no logic to this. This is an outdated, idiotic moron, old man, dumb fuck, sitting in a fucking boardroom, doesn't understand the community, doesn't understand the world right now, is just thinking money, 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 money. Oh, we own that. We can't do that. It's a moron. It's a fucking idiot, all right? And the thing is, I don't think that anyone in the Smash community should feel disheartened here, because you have to understand that, sadly, these are the kind of people who we have in charge of a lot of things on this planet, and it's not... They shouldn't take it like, man, Nintendo fucking hates us. It's not the case. It's an idiot. It's one fucking dumb fuck, some dunce. I equate this to Vince McMahon in the WWE doing some of the most ludicrously boneheaded decisions, like telling his superstars, you cannot have your own Twitch channel and stream it. All right? You can't do it because, you're using your likeness or your persona from WWE, which I don't like. You shouldn't be making any money outside of WWE, and therefore, we're shutting all that shit down. Okay? So, that's just insane. Okay? That's absolutely insane. that they think that this is like it's such an out of touch, outdated decision by some fucking moron. Okay, and it's sad because sometimes Nintendo can do completely the right thing, and then other times it's like you don't even know who this company is. Like what on earth is the rationale here besides thinking a business model? Oh, that's our property. We can't have someone else take it. What? No one's taking it. You're not selling it, you stupid fucking idiot. You're not selling the old Smash games anymore. People want to keep the community alive. They have a grassroots effort because Nintendo does not sponsor these events to an extent where they can be self-supportive. It's a grassroots effort to keep the old games alive, and they're just, it baffles me. We have people in power like this. It does. It baffles me. But again, it's like I've told you guys many times over the years, especially with Nintendo. They are old school. All right? They have these weird opinions about worldwide culture. They're xenophobic in a lot of ways. And they do the wrong thing all the time when it comes to weird decisions like this. And, you know, it's appalling, shocking for a lot of people to think that Nintendo would act like this. Honestly, not me. Like, I don't feel that way. Like, to me, I hear this and I'm like, well, it's typical. Like, that feels typical to me, that this is a decision that a company like this would make. It really does. And, like, this is not shocking to me because Nintendo has done this a million times. They've made these crazy decisions that this grassroots effort to keep the community alive because they won't support it or sponsor it is a bad thing. But God forbid that I criticize Nintendo. Because every time I do, some reason the rabid fanboys come out to attack me. And I'm like, how can you defend the actions of this company at this point? Like, we all know this is wrong, what's going on. So why would you defend them? Like, you know that this is a stupid, boneheaded decision that they've made. So why are you defending the company? I just don't get why people do that all the time. But anyway, I think it's dumb. I think it's a dumb decision. Resuvius to me $5 saying, hold on. If Phil finds side quests tedious, understanding not to do them. Okay? But most viewers find pre-stream tedious. Phil doesn't understand and he continues to do it. See, and here's the difference. It's not as textbook as you think it is at all. It's definitely not. If it were, and if absolutely everyone was saying that they hated pre-stream, that would be a different story. That's not the case at all. It's just not the case. As much as you want to pretend it is and you want to create this narrative, some people tell me every day they tune in just for the pre-stream, okay? Some people say they watch the pre-stream and they're not interested in the game, they'll leave, but they'll listen to the pre-stream. All right, this pre-stream has a lot of purpose to it. We get to talk about the daily topics, the hot topics, and we get to get that out of the way before I try to do an actual playthrough on a stream. If I didn't do that, whenever I boot up a game every day, the first hour and a half of gameplay would be me answering questions about current events and shit. Seriously. It would just be me answering questions constantly, and it would be like, we can't play games today because got to answer this, got to answer that, got to do a shout out for this. That's the other thing, the contributions. If I weren't doing the shout outs for the contributions, that's all I would be doing, is shout outs for contributions. We would never actually get to the meat of anything. And, you know, you have to understand, guys, that I am putting out content for multiple audiences. All right? It's not just for the viewers on Twitch. That my content is for multiple audiences. Okay? And yes, absolutely, there is an audience on stream that maybe doesn't care about some of the pre-stream stuff we talk about. All right? But there's an audience on YouTube that definitely doesn't. A lot of people on YouTube are watching this on demand just to watch gameplay of the game. If I don't do pre-stream and we're talking about all these topics we're talking about during the gameplay, those YouTubers are going to be like, what the fuck? When does the game actually start, right? There's a very definitive reason why we do the things we do here on the stream. I've answered this question a million times. So, Resuvius, I thank you for the $5 tip. And you're incredibly wrong. Okay. Very nice. Romy Rowe did a 75-bit cheer. Biggest cheer of the day so far. Let's get him up on the leaderboard. Okay. Did you hear about YouTube starts putting ads on non-monetized videos? I want to know your opinion. I'm shocked it's just happening now. YouTube allows people all over the world on a daily basis to upload unlimited amounts of content to their business for free. Okay? They get nothing out of it. It's essentially free server space, free web space, free hosting space. Okay? And they get nothing out of it. It's only if someone monetizes a video that YouTube makes anything out of it, you know? This is like, I can't believe they took this long to figure out we're missing out on a lot of money. Now, here's the thing. The fact that this is happening actually shows that maybe the days of YouTube thinking they're infallible, and maybe the days of, oh, YouTube gets away with everything, and YouTube has unlimited money and funding from Google, perhaps those days are numbered. Because if YouTube is looking to make this money up on videos, any video that's not monetized become monetized so they make money on it, that's weird to me, you know, because that means that where'd the money go? It used to always be YouTube could do whatever they want. They could screw the users over, screw the website over. They have unlimited funding from Google. They don't have to worry about it. Obviously, if now they're monetizing all these videos, they don't have that anymore. They need to make as much money as possible, okay? So that's interesting to me this is happening now. But I'm shocked it took this long. Now, the other thing is, the vast majority of people who use YouTube on a regular basis already use ad block. All right? So, unless YouTube is going to be instituting some new technology that people can't block the ads, I can't imagine this being a change for anything at all. I feel, people will continue to skip the ads. It won't be that big of a deal. Maybe they'll make a tiny bit of added revenue, but for me, here's my concern about it. All right, and I feel this is a valid concern. When you're just throwing ads on any random video, okay, that means any video you play on YouTube will have an ad associated with it. What's going to happen is that is going to oversaturate the site with ads, and advertisers are now going to feel that their advertisements aren't reaching a targeted audience anymore. So you're telling me if I buy ad space on YouTube, my ad could literally show up on any video on the site, whether it's a quality video or not, no matter what it is, it could just have an ad on it. Well, do I really want that? Probably not. You probably feel right now, since ads are only showing up on videos that are chosen to be monetized, right? That's possibly going to an audience that's used to seeing ads, okay? All right, look at this. So here we go. So now we get multiple people who are now getting banned because they're talking about wings going online. And that's not only completely against the rules, but it's completely derailing to my stream. So enjoy your bans and don't ask to come back. I was actually waiting for this to happen today. I was waiting for this to happen. And now that people are doing it, they could be permanently banned. Goodbye. And don't come back. Go watch Wings. Fuck off. Okay, anyway. So what I was going to say was, yes, what I'm seeing is advertisers sadly might think this is a major issue because normally if you put ads on YouTube, it's people who are used to seeing ads because the people have chosen to put those ads on their videos. Now you're telling me any video could have an ad? That could be I made a video of my pet turtle walking across the table, right? And now there's an ad on it. Obviously, the person who wants to see a cute video of a pet turtle just for 5 seconds and then they close YouTube doesn't want to see an ad. And what's going to happen is, number one, this is going to stop viewer engagement in a big way, I feel. And number two, people are going to be basically seeing ads who aren't catered to seeing them and it's not going to be effective advertising is what I'm trying to get at here. You see what I'm saying? Effectively, this is going to kill the usefulness of the advertising on YouTube. And I think YouTube might be shooting themselves in the foot with this, okay? And this might actually hurt YouTube significantly. It could. It could actually backfire for them and make it so that now people don't want to put ads on YouTube and even less advertisers will buy ad space because they're idiots. That's my take. You can disagree with it, and that's perfectly fine, but I think YouTube is screwing themselves over here. I really do. Okay. Golden Cold Cheers said, what's the best way to enjoy water? Bottle tap or al dente? I like bottled water. Rob on Wheels resubscribed for tier 2 for 31 months and says, how are you finding Demon Souls? I haven't been here for those streams. I think it's like watching paint dry. I'd like to reiterate, no one holds a gun to anyone's head to watch Phil. I'm enjoying Demon's Souls. I've played the game multiple times, and it's funny because I'm playing the game, and I'm remembering a ton about the game. Keep in mind, this is a game that I played twice, and it's a game that the first time I played it, I grinded significantly in the game. I went to all the worlds after the fact of playing them on stream, and I explored them thoroughly to find secret items and the like. So I'm remembering a ton about the game, and people are like, he's using a guide. I'm like, how dumb can you be? I've played the fucking game already. This is not a blind playthrough, you fucking oaf. Of course I'm remembering stuff. I played the game. It looks different, but it's the same game. How stupid can you be? Right? I just don't understand how dumb you can be. But I'm enjoying the playthrough. Admittedly, Demon's Souls, with its very outdated gameplay. You know, when you play Demon's Souls, you're realizing how much they improved the series with Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Okay, it's still fun to play, but definitely there's really tedious parts of the game. There's actual stages in Demon's Souls. It's more reasonable and fun to run through the level and skip all the content than to actually fight the game fairly. It's just that badly designed in some places. It's ridiculous. So I'm really liking the playthrough. At the same time, I know my viewership is mixed. Some people really like that content, some people don't, but I'm enjoying it. Timbo Slice Cheers, I played Assassin's Creed on PC and Xbox X. Firsthand, I'll say it runs smooth on the X in 4K 60 frames. Compared to your videos, I see no difference, and Call of Duty is 100% 60 FPS on Xbox. I see no issues. All right. Technical 2070 tipped $1. The best streamer ever. GOAT. The subscriber goal should be 1,000 in December. I don't think that's very appropriate. I don't think we're going to be hitting 1,000 subs anytime soon, unless someone gifts, like, 250 subs. I don't see that happening. Okay. Kashmir Goat did a 100-bit cheer. Said, we're the hate army, not the DSP army. There is no army. I've never termed my viewer base or to be anything because, as I told you guys many times over the years, I respect you guys. I feel that you're intelligent people, and you're all individuals. And I feel that when you group in a viewer base with a name, oh, you're the bro fist army, you're the angry army, you're the champions club. I feel that when you do that, you take away people's identity. Okay. And I feel that what you're doing is you're basically trying to make a group mentality so that, number one, it becomes almost like a cult, which I don't want. I don't want a cult following me. And number two, I actually feel that it takes away the genuineness of any relationship you could have with a viewer. Because you're saying you're not an individual, you're not a person who I identify or recognize or even want to talk to. You're just one of the mindless masses who watch me, right? I don't like that. I've never liked that. I never did. We've joked over the years, the philanthropists and shit like that. It's a joke. I would never want to call you guys a name like that because I feel it's disrespectful. That's just my take on it. Dr. Tony Huge tipped $1.30. Says, I think you may have missed a 50 cheer from last night. I remember seeing someone named Karis or something. Oh, I have no idea. And I'm not going back to look at that now. We're already way too far into the fucking pre-stream. So many people cheered today. It's taking forever to get through it. So, Shadow the Hedgehog did a 500-bit cheer, biggest cheer. And he says, I saw a comment in your YouTube stream with your name. I wonder if someone's impersonating you. It says Phil Burnell. Like a Dragon is also a pun on a literal name for the Japanese version of the Yakuza series. Yeah, I'm not commenting on any videos. It's probably someone impersonating me for sure. Not shocking. But anyway, thank you for the 500-bit cheer, biggest cheer of the day. Angelo Bestia cheer said, I agree with taking a few years to see console power. I had a 360 for many years. The graphics from its release to the end life are like two completely different experiences. It's always been the case. Devs need time to figure it out. I agree. Lunaba gifted 5 subs to the channel. Thank you very much, Lunaba. 1 to Chimera Dog, 1 to Wade Benedict, 1 to the one and only Maverick, 1 to Schneer King or Sheer King, and 1 to Sun Quan. Congrats. Local Nomad cheered, said, if you want Spider-Man to remaster it, it now allows you to upload your PS4 save file. So if you go to your PS4 and upload your 100% save file and download it to PS5, you instantly pop all the trophies, including the Platinum, just if you want to. That's interesting, Local Nomad. I don't know if I actually have a Spider-Man save in the cloud or not. I have no clue. If I do, that's an interesting thing. Maybe I would do that. But I never downloaded Spider-Man Remastered anyway. I didn't buy that version. That version was $80, $79.99, I think. I bought the $50 version. That's just Miles Morales. So I'm pretty sure I don't have it. I'm pretty sure I didn't get Marvel Spider-Man Remastered or whatever. I bought the cheaper version. If that's how it works, I don't really understand it. But I'm pretty sure I did not buy it, and therefore I probably would not I would not be able to get that. But important factoid for those who do. Eternal Napalm cheered. So Microsoft must be in ultra panic mode if X isn't performing as well as PS5. More power was their big selling point. The PlayStation 5's SSD must be a real game changer. I've already said my piece on this. I'm not going to talk about it again. Thank you for the cheer. Rocco Stocco cheers says, "Come on, you know you're going with a frozen stir fry for the last meal. I go with KFC myself. It's disgusting." Ninstar Ruined cheers. "I don't think they let you choose a last meal anymore. Some asshat ruined it for everyone because he ordered mountains of food and then said he wasn't hungry." Wow. Womos is cheers. Says, "You stay for overtime because we keep you company until Cat comes home." It all depends. It's many factors, and if I can stay late on a stream. Number one, if my wife is home, I'm never going late because I want to spend time with her. All right? But if she's not home, it all depends. Am I really liking the game? Am I tired? Are we getting good progress in a game? Am I playing multiple games where I need to finish a game early? You see, there's many factors to it. Timbo Slice cheered. He said 2020 has been a pretty awful year, but great things still happen today. The first one ever to be a starting player in the NCAA football game happened, which is a big win for women in the country and more so ones in sports. Thank you for the cheer. Golden Cole's cheered. He says, "Do you want the big, bold book of Mountain Dew recipes for Christmas?" No. Womo's... Oh, wait, hold on. No. Womo's is cheered. He said, "What was that accent? Don't let the old DSP come back." Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Ninstar Ruined cheered. He said, "Nintendo's mad people are making things they didn't, and they feel it's an insult to their honor. That's why they get mad about fan games." Elon just cheered. He says, "Have you ever thought about doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Pack pulls like Charlie does on Twitch? He makes a killing doing it." No. Don't like gotcha. Ninstar Ruined cheers. Says, "Only Nintendo could get away with removing trans pride content from their games like how they did in Smash Ultimate and still be viewed positively." Last Rambo cheered and said, "Do you think it's a straw man's argument saying 60 frames per second could help one react in Demon's Souls when one dies multiple times?" No. I actually feel the added frames make the game a lot more viable. In fact, if you didn't notice, early on in my Demon's Souls playthroughs, I was able to parry. I've never been able to parry in the From Software franchise, ever. Except for Sekiro, I guess. Outside of that, I've never in a Dark Souls game or Demon's Souls, I wasn't parrying. I couldn't do it. Because this game's 60 frames, I'm able to parry. So, that's a direct result of there being more frames. Timbo Slice cheers. Said, "You forgot to say how Nintendo thinks they own every ad rights to all their videos on YouTube." That's not correct anymore. Actually, no, I didn't forget to say it. They actually changed their opinion on that 2 years ago, and now they don't do that anymore. Okay. Ace cheered. He said, "I'll be 100% honest. I'm not interested in watching the streams themselves because I'd rather play a game and watch it. The same reason why I prefer to play sports than watching sports events. With that being said, I enjoy the pre-streams because it's an opportunity to check in with what's going on with you personally and professionally." No. Oh, see? That. Thank you. Yes, that agrees with exactly what I was saying on the pre-stream. So thank you very much for confirming that, Ace. I appreciate that very much. Okay. Jethro's main cheer said, "Adblock is going to skyrocket with this YouTube thing." I agree with you. Resuvius tipped me $5 and said, "We're out here bickering about Sony versus Microsoft. The real dick suckers are Apple fans." That's great. He says, "How is that $1,200 phone now with no new features for the last 6 years?" I mean, you're absolutely right. There's too many fucking people who are crazy fanboys of these tech companies, and they absolutely need to be early adopters and spend insano amounts of money for fucking trash. I agree with you there. Rocco Stocco cheered. Said, "If viewers buy the plane ticket, can Derek spend Christmas at your house and do a special stream?" What the hell is this? I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click this. No! Okay. Wow, that was like an E3 presentation from like 3 years ago that I just played on stream by accident. Rocco Stocco cheered again. He says, "I'm only as strong as my brother next to me, fighting under our fearless leader, DSP." Eternal Napalm cheered. He said, "One of the games I'm currently playing as I wait the PS5 stock is Neo. Despite not being as good as From Software, it's a great game with just a few things I don't really like. How does Neo 2 compare to the original?" It's almost the same game with some added features. Like, the game really starts to play like a, how can I explain it? All right, when you're playing Doom Eternal has this system, this rock, paper, scissors system, where you're constantly either trying to build up rage, build up armor, build up health, and it goes in a circular way. You try to maintain this pattern to keep going. In Neo 2, the way they've built the game, you're constantly doing the same thing. You're trying to build up this transformation meter to turn into a spirit creature. So what you're trying to do is hit an enemy enough to stagger them, then transform into the spirit creature, do damage, and rebuild your meter so that you can then stagger them again. It's like this endless looping circle. There's actually certain bosses late game where you absolutely need to keep doing this or it's very hard to win. So I would say Neo 1 started this, and Neo 1 plays a lot more like Dark Souls, while Neo 2 goes a little bit more into its own individual path of having this kind of system of constantly building up the stun meter, building up the yokai transformation meter. All right, but it's still very fun. The Red Gamer 7 to me $7 is good evening, Red Gamer. You're the top tipper of the day. Let's get you on the leaderboard here quickly. This pre-stream's taking forever. I'm tired of talking, quite frankly. All right. Thank you guys for the support. $21 in tips so far today. Ninstar Rune Cheers. If we hit the tips goal, will you show the E3 train? No. Okay. Golden Colt Cheers says, where do I find the best honey? I have no idea. All right. Shout out to the following people. Shout out to the top cheers of the week. WizKid and Tanamon are tied for 9th. Golden Colts is in 8th. Timbo Slice is in 7th, tied with Lies for Soul. Actually, it's tied for 6th. Frog Detective's in 5th. Infinite's in 4th. And we have a triple tie for first place between Dr. Tony Huge, Dino CFH, and Shadow the Hedgehog. Thank you guys for the support. All right. Thank you to those who've gifted subs to the channel this week, including Cashmere Go, Ultima Cloud 7, Angela Bestra, Melody Zelda, Hydrocarbon, Captain DCW, and Westside Rascal, who all gifted a single sub to the channel. Elon Just gifted 2 subs. Django Pops gifted 3. And Lunaba, so far, has gifted 5. Timbo Slice has cheered again. He says people need to stop the PS5 versus X battle. It doesn't make any sense. At this point, we know the real winner is the Atari VCS coming in December. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to use the bathroom. I've had to for about 25 minutes. This pre-stream's gone way too long. I'm going to go use the restroom. When I come back, it's Spider-Man Miles Morales. So, enjoy some music quickly while I use the bathroom, and then we'll be back and get started. Thanks.